Hi friends, welcome to our third installment of the power of forgiveness. I'm so happy to be joining you guys on this journey, and I've been so incredibly moved by your feedback from all of the emails we've gotten and from the posts that people are making and from the feedback that we're getting in our Ziva tribe of people that are actually doing it. Like, I know it's holiday season and I know that everyone is busy and there's a million things to do to close out the year and to do holiday shopping and travel preparation. But why would you want to go into 2018 holding on to hurt and anger and rage and old transgressions from the previous year? So I think that just like you want to, do your financial accounting, just like you want to close out your bank accounts and really take stock of everything you've accomplished in your job and in your personal life this year, it's just as important to let go of these old transgressions from the previous year. So that's what the whole point of this series is, the power of forgiveness. So thank you guys so very much for joining me. I'm so happy to see you here. So we got our friends on our Ziva Meditation public page. Hello. We got our friends in our Ziva tribe, which is going strong. We already have 2,500 people in this Ziva tribe, which is amazing to me because we just started a few weeks ago. And our goal is to get that to 5,000 by the end of the year. So if everyone in the Ziva tribe invited one person to join them, then we'd definitely reach our goal by the end of the year. And I actually just figured out how to invite someone to a group. I didn't know, but apparently when you go to the right side of your phone or of your computer, there's a place where you can just type someone's name if you're friends with them, or you can type their email address, and that will invite them to be a part of the tribe. So if you're watching it on our Ziva public Facebook page, hello, we're going to do a Q&A over in the Ziva tribe at the end. So if you want to go ahead and join the tribe and join me over there, that'll be fun. And also, hello to my friends on Instagram. How amazing is Instagram? I'm so thankful that it exists as a social media platform, and this is only our second live stream. So hi, nice to see you. And if you're on Facebook, come join the Ziva tribe. So a couple of fun announcements before we dive into today. I wanted to share this quote with you because I think it's really good. And this quote is, "Never be a prisoner to your past. It was a lesson, not a life sentence." How good is that? Never be a prisoner to your past. It was a lesson, not a life sentence. Right? And I really believe that this to be true. Everything that's happened in our lives ever is there to teach us our lessons. Not to be a life sentence, not to tell you what you have to do for the rest of your life, and certainly not so that you have to be mired by chains or scars or being weighted down by everything that's happened to you in your life. The whole point of this series on forgiveness is to give us the tools to be more and more resilient. And resiliency to me is basically the ability to handle the hand that you've been dealt in a way that is elegant and effortless, because none of us can control what happens to us. All of us can control, quote unquote, how we handle the hand that we're dealt. And so this to me is one of the big reasons why we practice forgiveness. And P.S., if you have not yet, if you don't know what I'm talking about when I say this power of forgiveness, I created an audio. It's about 15 minutes long. And you can get that. We're going to post the link to it in the comments. But it is bit.ly, so bit.ly/Ziva-forgiveness. So I know it's kind of long, so we'll just paste it in the comments. But if you haven't done that yet, I highly recommend you to click on that link, go and put your name and email, and then we'll email you the audio, or it might just pop up on the page, I don't remember. But we'll give you that gift. And I would recommend that you do it a few times. So the way that we've structured this series is that week 1, we talked about the power of forgiving yourself. Week 2 was just all about why we're even forgiving, and we did actually something called the love bomb, because a lot of people aren't ready to forgive someone right off the bat, so we have to start by priming the pump with a little bit of love. And then week 2 was the power of forgiving yourself, and this week, week 3, we're talking about the power of forgiving someone who has hurt you. And this is probably the one that most of us have been gearing up for. So I'm going to say hi to some of my friends. I see you guys joining. Hi Marcella, nice to see you. Hi Joe, thanks for joining. And Rex is in, amazing. Hi Richard Green. Okay, so Rex, you're saying invite me to the Ziva tribe, please. You actually don't even have to be invited. If you go to Facebook and just search Ziva tribe and just request an access, we'll add you to the tribe. And we're going to do a Q&A over there. Hi, Laura Ryan. How are you? How is your singing career going? Hi, Cindy. Nice to see you. AJ, what's up, friend? Nice to see you. And hi, Liz. It's so fun. Hi, Laura. Hi, Carly. It's like old home week. It's really nice having everyone back. Okay, so let's dive into what we're going to cover today. Do you like my shimmy? Do you like my sequins, by the way? Hello, just sequins on a Thursday afternoon. I feel like there's a layer over it, which makes it daytime appropriate. I also wanted to share that our amazing Ziva grad and one of my dear friends, Stacey London, if you don't know her, she's amazing. She's smart, she's sassy, she's an incredible writer, and you probably know her from What Not to Wear. And she was also a regular fashion consultant on The View. But she tweeted out yesterday, she said, do yourself a favor before the year is over and listen to the power of forgiveness. It's the best present you can give yourself. So thank you so much, Stacey, for tweeting that out to your hundreds of thousands of followers. And I hope that they listen to you. I hope that people do actually take the time to dive into this exercise. It's not fun, really, and it's hard work, but you'll be amazed how good you feel on the other side of it. So before we dive into the actual application of this audio, I want to talk about what forgiveness is not. Forgiveness is not pardoning or excusing another person's actions. A lot of people feel like, well, why would I forgive them? They shouldn't have done that. This is not about what someone should or shouldn't have done. This is not about whether or not you like their actions. This is all about you taking your energy, you taking your power back from a person, from a situation, from a transgression, so that you have your full performance capabilities to go after your dreams and pursue your mission. So forgiveness does not mean you necessarily need to tell the person that you forgive them. I mean, certainly you get major extra credit points and major bonus points if you actually sit down and tell the person that you've forgiven them, but you don't have to do that. That is, it's not necessary in order to forgive someone. And oftentimes someone's already passed away. They might not even be in their body anymore. And if that's the case, then how can you tell them? But there's still power in you forgiving them. Forgiveness does not mean that you shouldn't have any more feelings about the situation, right? So this is true. It's like you can forgive someone, but still be moving through your process. You know, that whole forgive and forget concept, it's a great goal to have, that we forgive someone so completely that it's just totally gone from our consciousness. And while that's a beautiful goal, and I think it's something valuable to work towards, a lot of us aren't there yet. And a lot of us, as we move through this process, will hold on to it. And I think we have to honor our process, at the same time be willing to surrender these old feelings of pain. Oh, and this is a big one. Forgiving someone does not necessarily mean that you have to include them in your life. You know, I know that boundaries are hard for a lot of people, and if someone has certainly hurt you multiple times, then it might be quite important that you put up some real boundaries around them, and you protect your time and you protect your energy, which we can talk more about as we go. But I find that meditators have to protect their energy a lot less than non-meditators, because if you have a daily practice where you're tapping into the very source of bliss, the source of fulfillment, and if you're increasing your own reservoirs of adaptation energy every day, twice a day, then you forgiving someone or you interacting with someone that costs you a lot energetically actually stops being as dangerous. It stops being like, you stop being a martyr because you're no longer dealing with limited resources, right? Like someone that really stresses you out at work, or a family member that's always in crisis mode, you can actually afford to give them a little bit more love. You can afford to give them more compassion. You can afford to give them more time without having to protect yourself, because you know that even if they suck you dry, even if they take your very last drop, well, you have your afternoon meditation practice to go in and fill yourself back up and to basically tap into the source. So you can only be a martyr if you're dealing with limited resources. And I would love for us all to become so resilient, so strong, so connected to source energy that we feel that we let go of this old idea that we have to protect ourselves from other people. And eventually, and admittedly, that's a goal as well. But in the meantime, we might have to put up some healthy boundaries. So I just want to give you full permission that by saying that forgiving someone does not mean that you have to have them in your life on a regular basis. Now, it's possible they already are in your life on a regular basis because they are your roommate or your family or your coworker, so you don't really get to choose how much interaction you have with them on a daily basis. And if that is the case, then boy howdy is this exercise even more powerful and important. Okay. And then the other thing I'll share is that what's the other option, right? Like if you decide not to forgive them, what are you choosing? If you're saying no to forgiveness, what are you saying yes to? And oftentimes that means we're saying yes to a lifetime of rage, a lifetime of toxicity, a lifetime of feeling like someone owes us something. And here's the reality, you guys, that doesn't just take a toll on your emotional being. Over time, those chemicals that your brain is releasing into your body starts to take a physical toll. And this is some of the science that we shared on week 1, and you can access some of this on the actual downloads page, like where that audio is. You can find some of the research that we've done around how not forgiving someone, on how holding on to hate and anger can actually start to manifest as physical ailments. And this isn't meant to scare you, but it is meant to highlight the fact that everything is a choice. We either choose to let go and move on, or we choose to hold on and let these things fester. And that doesn't just happen on an energetic level, that can happen on an actual physical and cellular level. And what we know from studying even the effects of meditation, because meditation is its own type of release. In meditation, you're releasing the stress and the trauma that's been stored in your cells over a lifetime. And forgiveness is its own kind of release. And so what happens is that if that stuff gets stored in your body, it starts to build up over time. And similarly, as we start to practice forgiveness on a regular basis, that stuff gets released from your body. So you're not only taking on less of the stress in the right now, but you're letting go of all of that accumulated stress from your past. So speaking of accumulated stresses from your past, I thought that I would share with you guys a story about someone that I feel like I need to forgive, and that I'm on my journey of forgiving. And it was surprising because I wanted to just open up and share with you guys my journey with this process and why I created it. But just also, and I'm not going to reveal any names, and hopefully I won't say anything that makes this not anonymous, but I wanted to share with you a personal experience. So as you guys know, before I was a meditation teacher, I was an actress. And many, many moons ago, I was on tour with a show, and I found out, I think we were in New Orleans at this point, but I found out that my dad had been diagnosed with cancer, and it was a real shock. Like, he wasn't sick, he wasn't showing any symptoms, and so the diagnosis really was like, you know, it's those moments that in life where just time stops, and you feel like you're in an alternate reality, and you can't believe that this is your life. And then I went home that weekend when I found out, and just sort of assessed the situation and checked in with him. And he was still up and around and moving and walking and talking. And then I went back to work, and I had, I think, a week or two where I was just getting everything in order. And I gave notice to my stage management that I wanted to take some time off, because it seemed like it was progressing pretty quickly. It was liver cancer, and his cancer moved very fast. And so I realized that I didn't have that much time left with him. And so I just went back to work, and I said, look, I need to take a leave of absence. I need to be with my dad. And I thought I was coming home to like help him get better. And so my stage managers were amazing, and they put some pieces into place to hire someone for an interim. And I think I took either 8 or 10 weeks off. And I don't remember, it doesn't matter. But anyway, they hired someone to replace me for that time. And I went home, and by the time I got home, my dad was basically in a coma. He couldn't speak, he couldn't talk, he couldn't walk, he was basically bedridden. And so I spent the next 48 hours like researching everything I could to become like a makeshift nutritionist. And we were juicing, and we took him off of meat and sugar and dairy, and we had him on these machines, and we were giving him like supplements and basically anything. If it was in a book about an alternative way to heal cancer, like you name it, we did it. And it was fascinating to see how quickly he up-leveled. It was fascinating to see like the turnaround that happened in his energy and his cognitive performance and his physical abilities. So like 48 hours later, after we started doing all these things, he was walking and talking and up and down the stairs. And it was so beautiful to see that transformation. And it really gave me a lot of faith in the power of the human body to heal itself, and the power of our diet, and the power of being around people that you love. Anyway, his cancer was still very, very pronounced. And liver cancer, if you know, it's intense. Like once things have progressed to your liver, it's pretty, like the body is, most people don't have that long once they get a liver cancer diagnosis. I'm not a doctor, but that's just been my experience. Anyway, point of the story is that the work that we did gave him such a better quality of life that he was able to really say his goodbyes. He was able to have conversations with people and be lucid and say his goodbyes. And I was actually able to have a conversation with my dad and tell him that I had forgiven him, which forgiving our parents is such a hilarious dichotomy, because I feel like all of us need to do it on some level or another. We blame them for something that may or not be their fault, but it's so funny because our parents sacrifice more than anyone else for us. They literally, my mothers have sacrificed their bodies, their identities, their time. And so given how much our parents have given to us, and no one is perfect, it's just this funny dichotomy that most of us need to forgive them, but they've given us more than anyone else. So that's a subject for another day. Anyway, I was able to have that conversation with my dad. It was very powerful. He passed away, and then I had a few weeks left at home with some other family stuff that happened. Then the tour that I was on was going to play a city very, very close to my hometown, right? It was like 3 or 4 hours away, and it was the closest that this show was going to be to my hometown. And all my friends and family had bought tickets to see this show, but then no one could come because my dad got sick, so everything got canceled. So anyway, point of the story is that I went to my stage managers because my dad had passed and my family was starting to heal, and I asked them if I could come back and do one show earlier, like before my contract was supposed to start again. So I'd be taking one show away from the woman who had replaced me, so that the 40 or 50 of my friends and family that lived in my hometown could come and see the show and have something to look forward to and something to celebrate. Well, the woman who replaced me was not having this. She somehow took it personally and thought that it was like a personal attack on her, and that somehow it questioned her professionalism. And not only did she say no, I could not do the show, but she also made a big, big stink of it and almost got one of my friends fired. And like, to be honest, I don't even understand like why it turned into such a drama, because if I put myself in her shoes, I would have been so quick to say yes. I would have been so quick to say yes, anything you need, please come take this show. Like, please give your family something healing and something to look forward to. But she did not. And it's something that I've never really forgiven her for, because it's a mystery to me. Like, I don't understand like where it came from. I don't understand what her motivation was. I don't understand what she got out of it. I offered to pay her for the $180 that she'd be missing not doing that show. And so I just never felt the need to forgive her, because I never understood why she did it. And so I don't want to be a hypocrite. And so as I'm preaching all this stuff and saying that everyone's doing the best that they can with the tools that they have, and if we really understood why things play out in the way that they do, then forgiveness would be irrelevant. And so I'm taking a big dose of my own medicine, and I'm going to choose to forgive her, even though I don't understand why she did this. Even though this was years and years ago, I've definitely held on to it for a long time, and I'm ready to let it go. So I'm just committing to do that. I'm committing to doing this exercise on this particular incident, and I'm going to report back on it next week once I do it. So that'll be fun to hear. Or not. We'll find out. But I want to hear from you guys. What has been your experience? Have you done this? Have you done the exercise on someone who has hurt you? And what did you learn? So just type right in those comments below. Please keep anything anonymous. Like, I don't want to out people. This is not an expose. This is all about the energetic shifts that have happened for you. So just write, you can even type just yes. Have you done this exercise on someone who's hurt you? You can say yes. And then what did you learn? What was challenging? What can I help with? And for those of you on Instagram and our Facebook public page, I want to invite you to join us over on the zivaTRIBE, because we're going to really dive a lot deeper there in just a moment. So you can just search zivaTRIBE and we'll approve you for that super quick. I'm going to jump in here. Oh, and I have another thing I'd like to share. Here we go. Water. If you feel inspired to share this forgiveness exercise, if you want to share it on your Facebook page, that's just bit.ly/Ziva-forgiveness, which we posted. If you share that on your Facebook page, I would be so grateful, because I really want to get as many people doing this before the end of the year as possible. And we can actually check your pages. And one of you, we're going to choose, if you share this, we're going to go through and we're going to ship one of you guys our brand new, Ziva sand timers. Can you see this? It's a little hard to see because it's see-through, but it's got Ziva etched into it, and it is a 20-minute sand timer, and it's really helpful if you want to time your meditation but don't want to use your phone, because who wants to pick up their cell phone before they meditate? Because then you're on Instagram and Facebook, and then 20 minutes goes by and you didn't do your meditation. So these are an amazing way to go totally analog. You just flip it over, and then you just open your eyes and check and see how much sand has passed or how much sand you have left. And then we're also using these, it's kind of fun to just flip it over and use it for 20 minutes of productivity. So let's say you don't want to have your phone in the room with you, but you just have to really monotask, and you have to focus in on one particular thing. This is a great way to do this. I based this on something called the Pomodoro technique, and I think they actually use like 35-minute intervals. But the reality is even 20 minutes of monotasking, you'll be amazed at how much you can get done. If you just went into your emails and were like, okay, I'm going to answer as many as I can for 20 minutes, then boom, it's you power through. Or I'm just going to write uninterrupted for 20 minutes. You'll be amazed at how much you can get through. So if you share that link, which we've posted in the gifts, it's bit.ly/Ziva-forgiveness. You can post that on your Facebook page, and we're going to go through and we're going to send one of you guys one of our beautiful sand timers. And these are the fun boxes that they come in. Oh, so beautiful. These just came in like they're hot off the press, so I'm really excited about them. So I'm excited to share. Okay, so we're getting some folks are writing in and sharing their experience. So Elizabeth is saying, yes, I did the forgiveness exercise on my dad, and I think I'm going to have to do it multiple times to fully forgive. It was so emotional to picture him as a child and on his deathbed, and it let me have empathy for him that I haven't felt as fully before. So that's so interesting, Liz, that you shared that when I just shared that story about my dad on his deathbed. There's something really simultaneously scary and beautiful about picturing our parents as children and about picturing our parents on their deathbed, because I feel like once one of our parents passes, it really makes us face our own mortality in a new way. And so I'm so glad that you did it on your dad. I know that can be really brave work, and I agree. Normally when we're dealing with deep old relationships, we have to do it multiple times. So thank you for sharing that. And then Paige is saying that she hasn't done the exercise yet, but she has resistance to some people who have hurt me and the attention it would take to forgive. So Paige, I hear you on that. It does take a lot of attention and it does take a lot of energy, but I would actually offer that it's taking you more energy to not forgive them than it would to forgive. And I want you to hear me very loud and clear on this, because you don't have any way of gauging what the opportunity cost of what that energy is costing you, what not forgiving them, what holding on to that hate and anger and hurt is costing you on a day-to-day basis. You have no way of gauging what that's costing you. And the opportunity cost, this term means not what something costs financially, but what it's costing you in opportunities. How much of you is not available to new relationships, to new friendships, to your family, if you're holding on to a lot of old hurt. So I really want to encourage you to download that audio and do it. It's 15 minutes of your life. You can do it as you're falling asleep. You can do it as you're walking home. You can do it, could you do it driving? Tricky. I wouldn't do it the first time driving, just because most people have a pretty intense emotional release around it. But I want you to call yourself on the difference between how much energy it will take to forgive someone versus the fear you have of feeling feelings. Because most of us have been trained since we're a child to not feel. Don't be sad, have a cookie. Don't be angry, have a toy. Don't feel alone, have some Facebook. Like, do anything other than feel. And we've been trained our whole lives to anesthetize ourselves. But the reality is, if you just feel it, if you just effing cry, if you just get angry, if you punch the pillow, if you take a nap, if you let these emotions come up and out, then you feel so much better on the other side. So thank you for sharing that. And we're all going to hold you accountable in this community, because that is what communities do. Tell me what you mean. So Paige, you said resistance to giving. Resistance to giving what? Hi James, nice to see you. Ooh. So Angel is saying, okay, good. So Angel's saying, thanks for letting me know about last week's live stream. Good. So if you've done that, and then Rebecca is saying, I did the exercise on someone who hurt me and it was so emotional. I've avoided doing it again on that person, even though I should. Okay, so Rebecca, I'm glad you did it. Bravo, get yourself 100 gold stars. This is brave work, and I get that. Who wants to feel these emotions, right? There's billions and billions and billions of dollars of industry ensuring the fact that we never have to feel. I mean, look at the effing opioid epidemic that is happening in our country right now. We're just numbing ourselves, and we're so afraid of feeling pain. And so while I don't want you to create unnecessary suffering or to wallow in unnecessary suffering, I think that there's a way for us to reframe this exercise and see it as a healing catharsis, to see it as a way of going in and cleaning out these wounds so that they can actually heal and turn into a scar instead of something that we have to nurture and care for and protect ourselves from. So bravo on doing it. And if you feel like there's more work to be done, what I would offer is that the second and third and even fourth times will be so much easier. Each time it gets easier. So bravo. So Esty is saying so true on the fear of feeling pain. Yeah. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. So my friends on the Ziva public page and my friends on Instagram, we're going to move this conversation over to the zivaTRIBE, and we're going to do a much more in-depth Q&A over there. So if you want to share this with your friends and family, that link is in the comments, and one of you guys is going to get our amazing new 20-minute Ziva sand timer, and then join me over in the zivaTRIBE. Just request access and we'll approve you. We've got a whole team of people just ready to add you. And I will see you over there. But thank you so, so much for joining me. And we're going to finish it up over on the zivaTRIBE. Okay. Hello. Here we are. It's just us. Do you feel more intimate now? No. Also, I'm curious to know, I would like to learn from you. Like when you listen to my story about the woman who I need to forgive, the woman from my former life as an actress, like, do you have any feedback from me? Because sometimes we can't see our own stuff when we're in it, but is there something, but sometimes when you put on the thinking cap of, well, let me be the one giving advice, or here's how I would deal with that, sometimes it helps you to see your own lessons. So if you have any feedback for me on ways that I should utilize this exercise or ways that I could help to forgive this woman, I would be totally open to that. So yeah, so I'd like to hear, what else do I want to know from you guys? Did anyone find the exercise easier than you thought? Was anyone scared of doing it, and then when you did it, it was like, oh, that wasn't so bad? You can just type yes and then share your experience. And then also just know that this time is really a time for us to connect and for me to share my feedback and for us to do any questions that you have. And really, I'm just here at your service. So anything you want to share or say, this is the time. Where is my water? Here it is. So Isabella is saying it's so true. It's brave work, this forgiveness, and this freed you up. So she's saying you're so brave to work on forgiveness, and this freed you up. I think that was about me in this experience, but here's the thing, is I haven't actually done it. I haven't done the exercise on this woman yet, which I'm a little embarrassed to admit that, but I'm committing to you guys that I'm going to do it before next week's live stream, and I'm going to free you up. I have been doing the exercise, just not on this particular issue, which is very telling, isn't it? This thing that I've been holding on to for 14 years now is probably the thing I need to do it on the most. And Isabel's saying that she loves this, so thank you so much for that feedback. Yeah. Okay, good. So If there's no other questions or comments, then I am going to sign off and just say thank you so much for your time. Thank you for spending these Thursday afternoons with us. If you want to share this live stream, feel free. If you want to share that link to the forgiveness exercise, I'd be so grateful. And then one of you guys will pick to send one of the Ziva sand timers for. And if you have friends that feel like would benefit from this. So after this series on forgiveness, which next week we are doing how to forgive a public figure. And then the week after that, we're going to move into our next topic, which is all about finishing 2017 strong and starting 2018 even stronger. So we're going to move through a 4-week series on celebrating your successes so that you can build on top of them for the coming year. So Jennifer is saying thank you, and Kim is saying thanks for all you do and how you help us. Kim, it is my absolute pleasure. I'm so honored to be a part of this community, and I'm so grateful for your time and energy. And Sandra's saying thank you so much. It's a life changer. Good. We have some lives to change, you guys. This stress thing is becoming a real epidemic, and it's been so for a while, and it doesn't seem to be going anywhere. And this is the world that we have to change, and we have to change it first by up-leveling ourselves. As we up-level ourselves, we help to up-level the collective. And this work can feel sometimes selfish, and it can feel like we don't have time to take care of ourselves, but I want to really reiterate that as you take care of yourself, you take care of everyone around you. Your friends, your family, your coworkers, they don't want a stressed out, overwhelmed version of you. They want a happy, joyous, creative, present version of you. So Jacqueline's saying, thank you for your commitment, Emily. Was in the Mind Valley quest and have a much better relationship with my mother since then. Oh, amazing. Good job, Jacqueline. That's incredible. And especially when we take the time to heal our relationships with our parents, our mothers, and our fathers. You guys, doing work on those foundational relationships changes everything. It changes every romantic relationship. It changes every friend relationship. Because if we don't learn those fundamental lessons, they just show up again and again and again and again, and they get louder each time. So if you think that you're going to just leave your hometown and leave your parents and your family behind and then go start a whole new life for yourself where you don't have to deal with any of that crap anymore, I got news for you. It ain't going anywhere. On some level, you chose to be born into that family because you have lessons to learn from this family. So you can either learn them, you can either forgive these people, or you can just keep learning them again and again and again. And I'll give you a quick pro tip on which one is easier. It's forgiving them and learning the lessons now. It's not easy, but it's easier than being punched in the face again and again and again with the same lesson. Because life lessons are just like pain. If we don't listen, it has to get louder and stronger and more acute until it forces us to take action. And so hopefully you having access to these tools and you choosing to commit to them will alleviate any danger of getting punched in the face by your lessons. All right, friends, have a beautiful afternoon. Thank you for your time and your attention. Happy forgiving. I know it's not easy work, but it is important work. And I'm excited for our final live stream next week on the power of forgiving a public figure. So your homework assignment is to pick one person, and there's a lot to choose from right now, you guys. One public figure, a politician, someone who's been outed for sexual abuse, a school official, like anyone that's in public that you don't necessarily know personally, but that you feel like needs some forgiving. That's our homework assignment for this week. And I have my own personal homework assignment, and then we're going to report back on it next Thursday. All right, bye, friends. Have a beautiful day.